We're about to get started. Thank you for your patience. Yes, the chat is busy as a bee, cheerful as a cricket, steady as a clock, standing on the rock. Don't believe I can do it. Hide and watch me, baby. Y'all got this. You can do it. This is going to be your year. Let the rest of your days be the best of your days. My name's Travis, and it sure is good to be amongst the living today, to be above ground. Actually, I'm doing better than above ground. I've got shelter, I've got food, I've got friends, I've lost weight, I'm keeping it off. Outstanding. All right, welcome everybody. We've got some weight loss to report. No new partners. We want to thank our existing partners for keeping us going and helping us with our mission. Total weight loss for the last 7 days, 478 pounds, almost 479 pounds. Every pound counts. Average per person continues to be over 2 pounds per week, and that includes people who are not losing weight. So that's a great average. That's more than 1% of body weight if you look at the whole. So pretty astounding stuff here. 1 day of weight loss over the last 24 hours, members have self-reported losing another life-changing 80 pounds. 100-pound badge earner. We've got Abby Dees, the one and only Abby Dees is back. Big round of applause for Miss Abby Dees. 100 pounds down, re-earned her 100-pound badge. Ginger Shelley earned the 100-pound badge. Way to go, Ginger Shelley. Takes a big-hearted person, strong will, and faith to accomplish that, down 100 pounds. 25-pound badge earner, Mary Lewis, congratulations, and a 10-pound badge earner, Catherine Williams. Only 3 fast track badges earned. I told y'all, didn't I? I told y'all that if I begged people to earn their fast track badge, there would be less people go for it. But hey, what do you do? I'm gonna use the reverse psychology. Don't earn your fast track badge. Don't journal. I'm gonna try that for a while. Hey everybody, my name's Travis. This is our Q&A. Question and answer session where we get all of your questions answered. We keep you moving forward. There's several ways that we support our members in these group sessions like this, where I'm here every Monday through Friday. I call that every day. Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. now, our Shibboleth Jam session for all members so that we can personalize your program, keep you moving forward. If you don't like the group sessions, we do offer one-on-one for no additional charge. You can schedule yourself a mentor appointment, get on the calendar, and if you prefer the one-on-one and you feel like you need that more individual support, we do offer that as well. So there's no way that any reasonable person can say, we left you to your own devices. All you got to do is have a willing and wanting heart, and we're here for you. So let's get it started. Any questions for me? All right, let's go to Q&A. Sally, after our last partner perk class, I was wondering, does kombucha contain alcohol since it's fermented? Do you know? It does. It does contain a modicum of alcohol. It's a very negligible amount of alcohol. Anything fermented is going to have a negligible amount of alcohol. So good question. Juanita, if you're fasting but not quite 16 hours, maybe 12 to 15, is that an IMF or a perfect day in the journal? That's an IMF. Any fast that you do above 12 hours where you're using the full variety of Shibboleth, you're not using the Tiger list, you're using all approved variety, and you get a 12-hour or more fast, that's an IMF type of day. For those of you new and wonder about all these different types of days, we have the standard perfect day. That's the only type of day, the only type of 24-hour period you will ever need in order to lose weight. It's very, a standard perfect day is very easy to implement as part of a long-term lifestyle, very doable. Then you have more restrictive type days. So those days you're extra motivated or trying to get momentum, got a wedding coming up, an anniversary coming up, looking to correct some deficiencies, some underlying issues that maybe some of those techniques can address. You've got your IMF day, which is a 12-hour fast. You've got a divine day, which a 12-hour or more fast using the all Shibboleth variety. You have a divine day that's nothing artificial. All things Shibboleth approved must be clean. No unpronounceable words in the ingredients, things that only grow from the ground or roam the earth. No processed foods at all for divine days. Then you have the faster weight loss type days. Your Tiger 16, Tiger 24, Tiger 36, and then you have your Lion and Shark days. So it gets more strict, more restrictive, different rule set. Once you learn all those rule sets, you got a new program every day. One of the things I figured out a long time ago, in fact, this just happened over the weekend. One of our members was accidentally texting us and thought that they were texting a nutrition coach, and they were talking to the nutrition coach about paying a great sum to get on this new diet that this coach offered. And Sasha replied back and said, I think you got the wrong number. We hate to see you go. And, one of the things I found out a long time ago, people are going to program hop. They're going to program hop, right? We know that we're going to do that. No use in getting upset about it. People are going to jump from program to program to program. And the reason they do that is the newness wears off. The newness kind of fades over time with anything that you're doing. That new car smell tends to go, doesn't it? And then if everything's going great, eventually you reach a perceived, that's the key word, you reach a perceived plateau. And then you get desperate, and the next thing that's shiny, the next shiny object, off we go, right? And people do, they come back. But one of the things I knew a long time ago, if you don't keep things new and fresh and exciting all the time, you're going to lose most people before they ever install a long-term lifestyle that they really believe in and will stick with, that's personalized for them. So that's another reason that I come up with all the different type days. Number one, for myself, because sometimes I want full fat cheese or full fat bacon, and that's really bad for my diet if I don't follow the rule set that negates all that fat. So I have rules for like a Lion and Shark day. So, but the other reason I did it was to keep my members excited, to keep them, you wake up today and you feel like doing an entire new program, but still follows the underlying foundation of Shibboleth, then you've got that with all those different type days. So that's why we've got the different type days, not for confusion, but to keep you excited, to keep things fresh, to keep you being able to eat all your favorite foods. So that's why we do that. Fasting is just considering food. You can still drink water, right? Yeah, fasting, again, if we're looking at a biblical approach to fasting, we need to determine, is this for health reasons or spiritual reasons? Most people do a fast, even if they say they're doing a spiritual fast, they're really not. They're really doing one to lose weight, because they'll always say, I'm doing this for the Lord, but how much weight will I lose? That's really not a spiritual fast. That's a health fast, not saying you won't get spiritual benefit from that effort, but it's not really a spiritual fast. We would do a spiritual fast for no other reason than to get close to God, decrease so that God could increase, and it wouldn't matter to us about the weight loss. In fact, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they actually gained weight during their fast. They weren't doing a fast to lose jiggly, itchy fat. They were doing a fast to draw nigh to the Lord and to worship the Lord. So it's all dependent. I went off on a tangent there. It's all dependent on how you declare your fast as an adult. I can give you some structure for a fast, but at the end of the day, you're going to personalize your fasting approach based upon whether you're doing it unto the Lord or you're doing it unto Stacy. So, all right. So fasting typically means, if we're just talking to someone out on the street, fasting means nothing but water. That's typically what fasting means. You're not having anything but water. And for me, when I say fasting, it means I'm not having anything but water and 0-calorie beverages, or near 0-calorie beverages, like my Happy Juice. I hope that helps. Can you please help me understand the difference between 90 and 93 and 97% ground beef, aside from the obvious fat content? But how does it differ from a 4 or different category? We are wondering. I'll try to do that. So let's take a look at this from several angles to make sure I cover all the bases. So you said 90% lean ground meat, 93% lean ground meat, 96 or better percent lean ground meat. Okay, so when we go to the grocery store and we look at a package, let's say the package, this is not to scale, but let's say we got a package of ground beef, there's a heart on it, it's heart healthy, it's 90% lean, okay? They're talking about by the weight of that. They're not talking about by the calories. The calories, the measurement of energy, fat energy, is what we want to know about. But they have tricked us there because they've weighed the product. So if we ask most people what weighs more, a pound of fat or a pound of muscle, they're going to say muscle weighs more than fat. That is incorrect. A pound weighs a pound, no matter what it is. A pound of fat takes up more than twice the space on the body as does 1 pound of muscle. So when this says this is 90% lean, it means that 90% of the weight of this product is muscle or is lean. And only 10% of what you see, 10% of what's weighed here is fat. But what they didn't tell you, the calories, okay? So where I'm drawing here, on a 90% lean product, let me draw a line here and fill it in real quick. So this part right here, all of this little, and it says 90%, but it's right the opposite as they're trying to portray. This part right here is the lean part. Everything else in that package, is lard. It's fat, and it's not the fat of one animal. It's the worst kind of fat that comes from slaughterhouses. You don't know if you got diseased beef there or beef fat, or you don't know what it is. It's a hodgepodge of filler so that they can make more money off of that package. That's why at the grocery store, you see mostly 70 and 85% lean. That's where they make their money, because all of this is filler. And the more fat there is, the more calories there are, and the more propensity for the body to store something as a fat because it's already in the form of fat. Let's take a look at the 93% lean. So same package, it's got a heart on it. If you look at the nutrition label, on the nutrition label, you'll see that it's about 33, 34, 35% less calories than these others, okay? But at 93% lean, half the product by weight is lard. This is fat, and this is lean. We call this a category 4 because see all this fat right here? Half that package is fat. Therefore, if you eat this particular fatty ground meat with a carbohydrate, you've got so much fat here that you're going to store the fat, okay? Then we've got 96% lean or better, okay? 96% lean or better. Now we're looking at a package, Now we're looking at a package that only about this much of it is fat. Very little fat. That's why it's a little more expensive, not much per serving, but a little more expensive. All of this is lean protein that feeds your muscle. And it's got a little bit of fat. The leaner we get, the less fat. And if you look at a nutrition label, you'll see it's a lot less calories. 4 ounces is going to be about 120 calories or thereabouts. So now I've got a category 1 because there's almost no fat here. So now if I eat a carbohydrate with it, category 1 plus 2 plus 3. So if I have, let's say I had a hamburger steak made of this stuff, It's almost all protein. The body has a hard time storing protein as a fat. It's almost all protein. So now we have with a category 2. So maybe we have some green beans with our hamburger steak. And let's say that we wanted a half an ear of corn. Now I got a category 3. That corn's going to elevate my blood sugar. My pancreas is going to release the fat storing hormone insulin. We call that the fat bus, but there's no fat to pick up. There's almost none here. So before I go further, let's make sure that that made sense. Was that explanation sufficient enough? Does everybody see that? Did you have an eye-opening moment? And this is not just with ground meat. This is with all kinds of foods that are processed. There's lots of processed foods where they trick you, they lie to you, or manipulate that label. It's the truth, but it's not really the truth you thought. Michelle Culpepper asked one of the top questions in my tenure as a weight loss coach. What about if you drain off the fat when cooking the ground beef? We don't know. You're draining some of the fat off, that's going to improve it. But if it's a category 4 and we're trying to take it to a 1 just by draining some fat off, it's too dicey. We don't want to do that. I know members that do. But you do it at your own risk. So make a note in your journal. If you're doing that as an adult, you get the right to make adult decisions. My mom tends to do that too. She wants to save some money and drain the fat. It's not really saving money though, because she's going to get less protein, right? Y'all understand what I'm saying? You're not really saving money, but nevertheless, you're actually saving money by buying the lean stuff. If you want the fattier stuff, just go buy a stick of butter. It's better for you. A stick of butter is better for you than the filler fat in processed meat. With that said, if you want to do that, it's not one of our rules, but it will be your personal rule that you're going to drain the fat off and call it whatever you want. But you better mark it in your journal, because when things start going awry and you've modified the program, it's going to be harder for me and the team to diagnose what's going on there. Does that make sense? I drain the fat off of my ground meat, but I don't alter. If I don't know, I don't know. And I treat it, any meat that ever had a face, if it ever had a face, I don't care if it's a frog or a possum, if it ever had a face and I don't know how lean it is, I'm counting it as what? Don't y'all just love all these crazy things we come up with? If it ever had a face. Yeah, you're always safe to call it a category 4 because we don't add 3s and 5s to 4s. Charles, how about if you buy ground beef from an individual who kills their own beef? Category 4. You don't know, you don't know. Category 4. Venison is an exception. If it's venison overall is pretty lean. Elk and venison, if you take those to a butcher, if they don't add any fat, you can call it a category 1 if they're not adding fat at the processor. I don't eat possum, but I know some people that do. Don't forget, I'm from the country. I may live in Florida now, but I'm from the country. Is chicken a category 4 or a category 5? Okay. Category 5, what is category 5, everyone? It's fruit. So yes, category 5 is fruit. Category 5 we have to be very careful with, because it dispatches the what, everybody? Joanna asked the question, and she's catching on now, and she says, I haven't had my coffee yet. I get it, sis. I do. I really understand. Yeah, it dispatches the fat bus. Okay, so we got to be careful. We never want to have a 4 with a 5, that's for sure, if we're having a perfect day. Category 4 is a protein plus fat. The dark meat part of a chicken is best counted as a 4. The white meat part of a chicken, the breast, best counted as a category 1. So a chicken thigh, a chicken wing, a chicken leg, these are category 4s. Chicken breast, category 1. Now, what happens if I take a category 1 chicken breast and I cook it in olive oil? Number one, first question, if I cook chicken breast in olive oil, can I eat that on a perfect day? Wow, y'all are going to learn something. You can. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can have chicken breast cooked in olive oil. Absolutely. Of course you can. This wouldn't be a good lifestyle if you couldn't do that. Can you have a chicken breast cooked in butter, in regular butter? Yeah. But that category 1 now becomes what category? A 4. And that just means no 3s or no 5s with it. What if I cook that chicken breast in ghee butter? What category is it? Very good, a category 1. What if I cook that chicken breast in MCT oil? What category is it? A 1. What if I grill it with approved barbecue sauce? What category is it? A 1. True or false? I can have a chicken breast cooked in olive oil with okra and corn on a portion plate. That's false. That's false. These are the nuances that you need to learn. Okay, Joanna says that was a gross meal. Okay, sorry, Joanna. All right, so next, what if I have a chicken breast cooked in MCT oil? Let's take that back. Chicken breast grilled with approved barbecue sauce, corn on the cob, and squash. Can I do that? Yeah, that would be a 1 + 2 + 3. Y'all are doing good. Now, it may, to a new person, that may seem like a lot to learn, but it's really not. And once you learn it, it's like riding a bicycle, and it just becomes a part of you. The difference is, while everybody else continues to be confused and up, down with their weight, you've learned nutrition, and you can get your weight off and keep it off forever just by surrendering to the lifestyle. Any other questions? That's right. Patricia Hurt says, that's why we do fast track. That's right, sis. Patricia, how much weight are you down now, my sweet friend who I miss? My sweet friend is more than 80 years young and is one of our best clients. Every time, a day doesn't pass without somebody going, will your program work for me? I'm over 60. She stays 48 to 50 pounds down. Outstanding. Way to go, Patricia. Amen, Pat Johnson. Patricia Hurt. Let's celebrate Patricia Hurt today. Oh, 40 to 50 down. My bad. How about chickpeas in a grilled salmon salad? A 7 + 2 + 6 and a condiment. So all of that works together just fine. Laura, what's the one thing we need to be careful of with so many ingredients? Laura, portion. So that's when we want to make sure that we use a portion control dish and we're fine. But the more variety you have in a single sitting, the harder it is to control portions. So that's when that portion control plate comes out of the cabinet for me. And then we eat that. It's going to be delicious. We're going to want seconds. When can we have seconds, everyone? 4 to 6 hours later. How would I classify a soup made with cabbage, carrots, tomatoes, and chicken breast? I'm assuming it's not carrot heavy, so I would count that as a 1+2. It's an approved recipe. Stacy, we went to the Cracker Barrel the other day, and when they put our plates down, I looked over and saw my 9-year-old son with both hands up checking the portion size. Way to train them up right. That's awesome. That's good to hear. That made my day. Let's catch them young. Good job, Mama. Will you explain why a 4+6 is not approved? I think I know, but I need to be told. You may not know. We don't talk about that a lot. You can have some 4+6s as a perfect pairing. But you get into a really gray area there because there's a lot of category 6s high in fat. You're having a category 4 that's high in fat. You're having a category 6 that's high in fat. Too much fat, too many calories. If you're having a very low fat category 6, you can get away with it, but it is not ideal. So could I have a little bitty piece of steak with some pintos, a 4+6? Yeah, if I really portion it tight, maybe I'm not going to eat 3 eating episodes, then I can probably get away with that. But we'll take that case by case. Wholesale, if we look at it universally and all the different variety that a 4+6 could represent, it is generally not a good idea. Now, if you have specific one you're thinking you want, let me know and I'll tell you if you can have it as a perfect pair. Will I be doing another challenge soon? And if not, can I do the self-led? You can do any of the challenges self-led. And we're restructuring our company for survival right now. So we'll be doing another challenge as soon as we can. I don't want to give you a date, but it won't be long. I know that. We have to do the challenges. Our members start peeling away. So we will be doing one, but I don't have a date yet. The strawberry fluff is delicious. The website says we can have as a dessert or a snack. How do we journal it as a dessert with a 1+2 meal? Does that make it a holiday? It's an eating episode. So if you're trying to have an optimal day, then you need to count it as an eating episode, maybe a snack episode. The best number of eating episodes per day for weight loss for optimal results is 3. So maybe you skip breakfast or skip lunch, and then you have your approved dinner, and then you have that as dessert and just call it a snack. We don't put a category on snacks or recipes. If it's an approved snack, it's just in your journal, an approved snack. Hope that helped. Hey, Tina, thank you for that. April got us a bell. So I get it. I need my bell back. I still got it downstairs. We were hitting on that thing last night playing with the dogs. I got to bring it up. But thank you for that. Charles Grant is 41.6 pounds away from 250 pounds. Great job, Charles. Is a perfect pairing explained in a video? There is a video on perfect pairings in the library. Maybe Joni can grab that for you, Laura News. There, there's not a be all end all, because we take it case by case. We just take it case by case. If somebody's wanting some weird thing, we try to figure out how to perfectly pair it for them. Basically, a perfect pairing is pretty much an approved recipe. That's all a perfect pairing is. It's an approved recipe where we've made sure that the macronutrient balance is correct so that we control insulin. But instead of it being a recipe with many ingredients, it's usually just 2 ingredients. That's really all a perfect pairing is. Is it okay to do a scoop of Vital Protein Collagen each morning in my water? It is 35 calories and no fat. Sure, it is extra calories. If you're only doing 35 calories, I just call it an extra supplement. If you're having more than 1 serving of that, you need to call it a snack. Anybody else? "35 calories is not enough, Laura, to break a fast if there's very little macronutrient profile in there. Your protein breaks a fast faster than anything else. That is nothing but protein you're consuming. If it's 1 serving, I probably wouldn't consider that breaking my fast. Technically, most people would. I probably wouldn't personally myself. I hope that helps. Way to go, Laura News is down 39 pounds of fat. Tabitha, I know a Quest bar and Healthwise hot chocolate are a -2 perfect pairing. Is there any way we could do the Quest bar with fat-free Fairlife milk instead as a perfect pairing? If so, what's the weight loss meter and how much milk? I've been baking the Quest bar. It's definitely not the same. I would call that I would say you could do that, and I would call it a 0. Won't hurt you, won't help you. I'm going off memory of the nutritional profiles. One is slow digesting, one has some not so slow digesting ingredients in it. I see April. If I see a recipe that I would like to make Shibboleth approved, what is the best route to take to make sure that I don't accidentally have a holiday? Post it in the We Fixed It group or add it to the recipe section and wait on an answer. There's 2 ways to get a recipe approved. You can post it in the Shibboleth, the We Fixed It group, or you can go into the recipe library on the website and add all the ingredients there and wait for an answer on it. Or send it to me and we'll tackle a recipe here. I think some of the folks would like that. Can't do it every class, but if you'll send it to me, I'll put it on the task list to go over the modification of your recipe right here in class for the benefit of all, if you'd rather not have to wait as long on our smaller and smaller team. Is there a way to exchange Breyer's Carb Smart with Halo Top? You can already do that, Miss Connie. Hope that helps. Breyer's Carb Smart and Halo Top are both approved. So whichever one you like better. Yeah, of course, follow the serving, the correct serving amount. And you can, Halo Top, you may get a little more serving there. Hubby down 27 pounds. That's outstanding. Hubby getting all sexy. Can we use grapeseed oil? Grapeseed oil is like any other unapproved fat. It is allowed, but you should not have any category 3 or category 5 on the plate with grapeseed oil. It is allowed. It's not a holiday. But if you're using it, you should not have any category 3 or category 5 with it. Does that make sense, James? Olive oil, grapeseed oil, walnut oil, all oils, vegetable oil, the worst kind, vegetable oil, canola oil, it's all allowed. But you can't have category 3s and 5s with it, and you must know the dangers and harms of it if you're doing it too frequently. Approved turkey bologna says I need to eat it with egg whites. Are you sure about that? I want a bologna sandwich. No, I don't know why it would say that. I think that only depends on which turkey bologna you got. Some is a little too fatty. And because some of it's a little too fatty, you've got to add some lean protein. But what I would do if I wanted that, I would take any approved bologna. Of course, I would fry mine in MCT oil for fried bologna. I don't like turkey bologna. It tastes nasty to me, unless I add MCT oil. MCT oil is like duct tape. It fixes everything. So I fry my bologna in MCT oil, and then if you put it with one of your approved breads that's a -2 or -3, generally that's going to have enough protein to get the protein ratio up a bit, especially if you could add a slice of fat-free cheese. But I don't think you have to have egg whites with it unless you're just getting full-fat bologna. That may have been something somebody they thought that you should do to make the protein better and didn't address it with me. I don't know. But yeah, if it's approved bologna, count it as a category 4 and just have a really good bread that's got 6, 7, 8 grams of protein in it, and you should be all right. Can I sub Breyer's Carb Smart with Halo Top? Not on a WOW challenge unless I write it up. We got to stay true to the rules. Unfortunately, our team's getting small. So, we're not like, if somebody asks for a WOW challenge, I can't get in there in 5 minutes. If you send me an email that you'd like for me to consider that, tell me what WOW challenge you want me to alter, then I can go in it. But right now, the rules state on the honor system, because it's a self-discipline challenge. It's not that you couldn't do that on a WOW challenge, but we want to stay true to the rules. And the WOW challenges are self-discipline challenges. And we want to they work so well. Like if I say right here in front of a group, so y'all understand my dilemma, if I say that, yeah, Connie, you can do that, it's no issue. Then the next person's going to take some license and they may add bunny tracks to that WOW challenge. And then we get in trouble. So I want to say with a WOW challenge, you got to stick with it exactly as it is if you're trying to complete a WOW challenge on the honor system. Now, if you're not doing it as a WOW challenge and you're just using a WOW challenge as a guideline and you want to play with it yourself to come up with some meal plans for the day, fine. But as far as you're asking, can I alter a WOW challenge on the honor system? No, ma'am. You can send it to me and I'll get it in there as soon as I can. And I'll even call it Connie's Ice Cream WOW Challenge. And then you could earn that badge for that. The WOW challenges, yes, they help lose weight. Yes, they help us come back strong after a holiday. But those WOW challenges were meant to help us exercise willpower and self-discipline in a day where we declared a WOW. And then there's nothing that feels better than, because none of us in this life we live, none of us find it easy to stick to a plan, even if it's filled with your favorite foods. Because when you get up, you might declare a WOW challenge for Wednesday, I'm doing this one. And you feel good about it. But how many of you know by lunchtime the next day, somebody's done got in your way and caused you to have to alter your whole thing? And, so a wow challenge is more about, I want to go to lunch with my friends that invited me just now, but I'm doing a wow challenge. Do I have the self-discipline to get through this day doing what I said I would do? And then when you lay your head down at night, man, that's one more marble in your discipline jar, where boom, I did it. And that helps us begin to exercise discipline and improve, because most of us here are not struggling with the program. We're struggling with our discipline. Yes, you can send it to my email. Just be very patient with me. I've got over 400,000 emails. Those of you that I haven't even opened, those of you that really want me to answer something specifically, you prefer to go through me, you may have to send that email 10 times. It's not that I don't care, but if you don't want to use my team to do this stuff and you're sending me an email, I don't want to lose a member over my inability to not sleep. So I have to sleep sometimes. But you can keep sending it and it'll bump up to the top and I'll eventually get to it. But you can send it travisjack777@gmail.com. Or we can build you one right here. If everybody through Democratic reign wants to build a wow challenge for Connie right here, I'll do that. But everybody has to want to do that, just like checking a journal. Anybody else? I found the Hebrew National 97% fat-free Franks at Publix. Good deal. I love those. I got a fridge full of those. Where can I find either Nathan? Oh, y'all are taking care of that. Good. Does anybody want to build Connie a wow challenge? Do y'all want to see that process? It's not that hard. It's just getting it in the system that's hard. I have to have my developer do that. All right, here we go. So what's the name of the wow challenge, Connie, that you want me to build off of? You've already picked out one, correct? Now, is this one that you would really do, Connie, or did Connie leave? Her name turned gray on my screen, so she may have left. Yeah, Connie left. So we won't be doing it. Never mind. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. See, I tried to help. If you make a big mistake and have 3 snacks in one day, are you out of EFB? Is that a holiday? Ooh, it depends, Stephanie. This is a good question. Let's ask the group. But I got to qualify. Do you mean that you had 3 meals and 3 snacks, or you only had 3 snacks all day? So you did have 3 meals and 3 snacks? Okay, that's a holiday for sure. Yeah. You had 6 eating episodes. We can't lose weight that way. Now, if it was approved, if all of it was approved, the good news is you did not spike your insulin levels through the roof, and you may very well be able to get back into EFB faster. When you eat approved foods, even if you overeat them, you will not gain weight like you do when you're not eating approved foods, because you'll have less insulin. But it was a holiday. It wasn't a bad one, but it was a holiday. Now, if you had only had 3 snacks all day, I do that sometime, y'all. Like if I'm driving a lot, please don't laugh. I'm supposed to be a health coach and I do crazy things. But if I'm driving all day, I'll make a challenge with myself. I call it the I-75 Wow Challenge. And you know what I do? I do nuts and seeds 3 times with a Diet Coke. And it's like my challenge. I always lose weight. Great doing that too. So 200 calories of nuts or seeds is a snack. A Diet Coke is a freebie. So I'll put my nuts, peanuts, or whatever in my Diet Coke. I like salty with the carbonated beverage. And that's my I-75 Wow Challenge. And I'll have 200 calories of nuts 3 different times. That's 3 snacks. But it's only 3 eating episodes. So it's terrific. Sometimes I feel like a snack instead of a meal. I love Shibboleth because it's so versatile. That's why one day I know God is going to set this program free despite my resource limitations. One of these days, I just hope I live to see it. This methodology, it's going to go it's going to be everywhere. I don't even care if people know if it comes from me or not. I just want everybody to have it because it's so life-changing. And the earlier we can get it to people, the better, because the obesity rate is escalating like nothing you've ever seen still, even with all the knowingness that our country's going down a bad road with its health and wellness. It's the obesity epidemic. It is, oh my gosh, it's so much that there's a shift in the cultural way we even look at it, to the point that people that are lean and healthy are now becoming the outcast. I read a thing, I've gotten really into the Survivor TV show. Has anybody else ever watched that? I watched the first season many, many years ago. And then stay with me here and don't get mad at me. I'm transparent. But that first season I loved. And then as the seasons progressed, back then I was very religious. I didn't know any better. I was very religious. And they started changing some things. And I thought, I can't watch that. And I still salute people who are that way. I still salute. But over time and through a lot of prayer and through my own shortcomings and failings and faults, I just have a different outlook. Maybe it's because I'm just not as good a person as I should be, but I have a different outlook. I'm more open-minded, more inclusive. I don't want to judge anyone or I'll be judged. But I also am not going to put myself, I won't judge them, but I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm not a strong enough human being that just things don't bother me is what I'm saying like they used to, because I don't have to live that way. If they're not hurting me, then so, but here's my point. I'll get to my greater point. But I watched, I love Boston Rob. Anybody else like Boston Rob? I love Boston Rob. Boston Rob needs my program now, though, by the way. Me too, April. I love Boston Rob. I love Ozzy. Let's see, who do I like? I like Boston. I hadn't seen all the episodes. If they pull some crap, I'm sorry. But I like the lady, I can't think of her name. Siri, not Sandra, but Siri, I always mispronounce her name. She's the black lady, pretty black lady, real sweet. I like her. I like to watch her. I like to watch Boston Rob. I like Ozzy. I like Amanda. Let's see, who else do I like? I don't like that Russell Hands. I don't like him at all. But he's fun to watch, So part of it is I tune in just so I can root against Russell. But anyway, I've been watching some of the episodes and I've noticed that they've went away, and I think this is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to make a point here, but they've went away from the objectifying women and the sexism. Have y'all noticed that? Early on, there was a lot of objectification of women. And with a man that has daughters, I'm not down on the women. I'm down on objectification of women. I think a woman ought to be able to wear whatever she wants and enjoy her body. And, she ought to have the same pleasures in life that a man. We've really mistreated women in a patriarchal culture. Now, don't throw nothing. I know you can take either way too far, but we've held women to a standard that's not fair and not held men to a standard that's similar. Men get away with stuff. And I've got to watch that cultural shift. And so I'm glad that they've went away from the sexism and objectification. But one of the things that I read in what I'll call a blog from Jeff Probst, I believe that's his name, the host, he said that they've moved away and they tend to demonstrate body types and body sizes that's all over the spectrum now, instead of only the fit women. And in fact, he said, here's the problem. He says they get pushback if the women are too fit. Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? I'm going to tell you why it is. Because we're going to what we're trying to do as a culture, since 2/3 of the population is unfit and unhealthy, we're trying to normalize that. And in fact, the villains are becoming those. They're, we call them radicals or obsessed if they're trying to take care of their health and wellness. Yeah, and I just personally, I can see us shifting too far the other way. I think we ought to celebrate every body type. What we ought to be trying to do is be happy. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? We should be happy. And if a person is overweight and happy, what's the big deal? Unless it's affecting their health and affecting your pocketbook. Don't throw nothing at me. But one of the reasons that we've got the economic problems that we have is because we're not addressing the obesity epidemic. It's getting worse. It's getting worse every single year. Who do you think's paying for that? Who do you think's paying more than their fair share for the health care in this country? The people that are healthy. Now, is that fair? Is that right? Just something to think about. This it's getting real, y'all. I mean, 2/3 of our population, overweight, obese, or morbidly obese. And if they're happy, it's cool with me. But I want you to think, how many people that are on multiple prescription medications and unhealthy because of food addiction, not something beyond their control, but something within their control, deep down they're sad and not happy. I know a ton. And let's fix it. How do we fix it? We start with ourselves. If we'll just start with ourselves under the Lord, do you know the impact that you can have? Somebody mentioned earlier, I forget who it was, that their child is measuring their portion with their little hands. Now that's making a meaningful difference in someone's life. Thanks on the answer for MCT. How does that affect calories? Which one was it? I missed it. Let me look. Tammy or Joni, could you? I missed something. The reason I asked about MCT is that when Travis and I talked last year, he discussed calorie deficit, so I was concerned. I missed the full question, the context.
Hey, Travis?
Yes.
The original question was, can you address the use of MCT oil? It has calories, and often it messes up my calorie count. How should it be used and how much? So I sent her the link to the MCT oil on how to use it, but you might want to expand on that.
Yeah, MCT is still calories. So if we're looking, this will be a good one to start closing out on. If we're looking at MCT and we're looking at all calories, let's look at all calories. All calories were not created equal. Can everybody tune in? I need April's bell up here. Can everybody tune in for a minute? This might be a help to someone. Bing, 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 teaching moment. So you've got protein, you've got carbs, and you've got fat. Okay, obviously MCT is a fat. Okay, protein, there's 4 calories in a gram of protein, doesn't spike insulin, it breaks into amino acids. Amino acids feed and fuel the muscle. Carbohydrate, 4 calories per gram, breaks down into glycogen, does affect the fat bus unless it's fiber, and then it slows down the fat bus. Then fat, already in the form of fat, therefore more easily stored as fat, especially in the presence of insulin, except for medium chain triglycerides. Medium chain triglycerides, let's look at long chain triglycerides, olive oil. Medium chain triglycerides derived from palm or coconuts. You have to segregate MCT and pull it out. So let's just do that here for explanation reasons. And we're going to put MCT. Let's pretend that, and I'm going to add water up here. Let's pretend now for Shibboleth purposes, there's 5 macronutrients. Are y'all with me? All calories are not created equal. There's 0 calories in water, 4 calories in a gram of protein, 4 calories in a gram of carbs, 9 in a gram of fat. That's why things with fat, much higher in calories. We want to do our best when we're trying to lose weight to never combine a carbohydrate, non-fibrous carbohydrate, with any long-chain triglyceride fat. Is everybody with me there? Anybody need me to repeat that part? MCT oil is utilized so quickly by the body, it has no propensity to be stored as fat. James asked me to repeat that. So water per gram is 0 calories. Protein per gram is 4 calories. Carbohydrate per gram is 4, but it causes the fat bust if it's non-fibrous. And then regular fats, long-chain triglyceride fats, much denser in calories, more calories, and more easily stored as fat if the fat bust shows up on the scene. Our categories and combinations attempt to never combine a non-fibrous carbohydrate, potato, corn, peas, tomatoes, unless it's a condiment. We never want to combine a carbohydrate with a long-chain triglyceride fat, because the carbohydrate causes the fat bust. Fat is already in an easily stored form of fat, and it gets sucked up by insulin, and insulin plants it in our available fat stores. Is that good, everybody? Medium chain triglycerides typically have 7 calories in a gram, little different, depending on if it's 100% MCT, little less calories. But you'll hear people say a calorie is a calorie. If all calories were created equal, let me ask it this way. Which way would you end up healthier after a week? Every day eating chicken breast and broccoli up to 1,000 calories, or every day eating nothing but Moose Tracks ice cream up to 1,000 calories for a week? You'd be better with chicken. Y'all know that, right? How many times have y'all heard all calories are created equal outside of Shibboleth? It's not true. Can't be true, can it? In fact, depending on what type of calorie it is, some calories create chemical reactions in the body when it starts digesting that cause fat storage. Others create chemicals in the body that help efficient fat burning. Okay? Now, all of these macronutrients have some sort of thermic effect attached to them. The thermic effect of food, for our purpose here, is the number of calories that's burned off through digestion of the macro. Water, no thermic effect needed. It helps us break down foods, and we have to be properly hydrated, but we're going to cancel this out. It's no calories. You're not burning extra calories because you drink water, unless you drink ice cold water. And then there is some science to suggest that your body has to burn more energy heating up. But anyway, it's negligible. Protein. Protein requires a lot of blood flow to the digestion system to break it down. It's almost like if you have 4 calories, it's almost like you really had 0 to 2 calories by the time that your body has to break that down. Does that make sense? So you may be having a chicken breast that's got 120 calories in it, But by the time that the blood flow speeds up to the digestion system to break it down, it's really like you had 0 to 60 calories. Does that make sense? Carbohydrate. With carbohydrate, it depends on if it's whole grain, dense with fiber, or if it's a straight grain like corn. So if I have 100 calories of corn, there's very little thermic effect taking place. I basically had 100 calories that I need to burn off. There's not much thermic effect to corn. But lima beans, if I have 100 calories of lima beans, it's got a lot of protein and fiber. Protein has a higher thermic effect. Fiber has a higher thermic effect. So it may be like I only took in 50 to 100 calories. Does that make sense, everybody? This is where I've in the past come up with the term exercise on a plate. Are y'all following me? Do I have any people go, ah? See, the reason I do that is not because to brag on myself, but I remember studying and I would have these moments. And then when I put it to practice and I just melted, it's like, this is radical stuff. It actually works. So now let's take fat. Fat, very little thermic effect. If I have 100 calories of fat, it's like I had 100 calories. Now, you can watch this. Oh, this is going to get really nasty. Y'all ready for some bad news too? So if I'm having like regular vegetable oil, if I have 100 calories of vegetable oil, no thermic effect, I had 100 nasty calories. Not good quality calories, nasty calories. If I had white bread, white rice, or white pasta, or Coca-Cola, or any of its kinfolks, watch this. If I have 100 calories of white rice, it's really as it, now y'all are going to love this, I just know you are. If I have 100 calories of white rice, it's like putting water on my metabolic fire. So instead of 100 calories, it so slowed my metabolic processing down, it was like I had 200 calories. How many of you knew that? You didn't have 200 calories. I'm not saying that before all the dietitians jump on me. No, but it slowed down your metabolic functioning so much that you're going to burn less calories for hours after that. How many of you, when you eat white rice, white pasta, white bread, and you have too much of it, you feel sluggish afterwards? How many of you watching Survivor? Let's see if you know your trivia. What do they feed the contestants on Survivor if they haven't won a reward? Rice. Why are they giving them rice? Think about it. Because it's as if they're getting more sustenance than they're really getting. Are y'all with me? Are y'all having any aha moments? I love this stuff. Because, you know, rice doesn't have a lot of calories, but it slows metabolic. If you're going into starvation mode, you want rice. So it'll slow down your thermic, you're eating yourself up. Okay, but now watch this. That thing I said about fat, there's not much thermic effect. MCT oil, if I have 100 calories of MCT oil, it burns up so fast and creates such a fire inside of me, it's like I had 0 calories. How about that? Now, Travis, put this in layman's terms for me. This is how I changed my life, y'all. I'm a mad scientist. I'm a mad U Harley, Georgia scientist. It's called bro science, man. All right, so watch. If I have chicken breast at 120 calories, cooked in MCT oil, 1 tablespoon of MCT oil is a little more than that, but 100 for math's sake. And then I have some corn. Can I do that? Could I have chicken breast cooked in MCT oil with corn and then some broccoli? We need some broccoli at 50 calories. It takes a lot of broccoli to even have 50 calories. So here, from a calorie standpoint, I've had 370 calories. Do y'all see that? And it's 370 calories. That's how I count it. But I know that because of how these things speed up my metabolism throughout the rest of the day, I'm going to burn more calories. It's as if the chicken breast canceled itself out. So I got to take 120 off. The MCT oil canceled itself, so I've got to take 100 off. The corn, it's as if I had 200 calories because it's a straight up grain. It's easily digested. So I'm going to put 200 for it. And then the broccoli, it can have a minus thermic effect. It could be as much as burning an additional 100 calories, but I'm just going to say it canceled itself out. So it's really, instead of 370 calories, it's like I only had 200 calories. Isn't that awesome? So that's why we call the red column. Think about this. Let's do it one more for fun. One more for fun. When we talk about the red column, that's the fastest weight loss combination. You literally look like you're melting in a month, because if you have nothing but red column, so let's take some turkey breast and some broccoli and some MCT oil. So I had 120 calories of turkey, 50 calories of broccoli, MCT oil. Burns itself off. Burns itself off and then some. No propensity to be stored as fat. I had a great tasting meal that preserved my muscle, but it was as if I had 0 calories. I'm eating the food, but it's almost like, because of all the blood flow I get to my digestive system, I'm exercising. How bad do you want it? It's awesome. I would love to see a wow. Yeah, Patrina, you still want to count your MCT calories, but again, if we begin with the end in mind, that's why I'm so keen on it. Cheryl, I would love to see a wow challenge of a Beverly Shake and a Robert Irvine snack bar. You want both in the same day? Cheryl? I love you too, Laura. Would raw broccoli be better than steamed as far as a weight loss meter, Charles? That's tricky. From a weight loss standpoint, yes. From a health standpoint, no. The science is coming out over and over again that while they're telling us that the nutritive value of raw vegetables is better than the cooked value, they have so many toxins in them, it's best to cook them for overall wellness. But if you're just trying to burn more calories, raw would be better. I'm not just trying to burn more calories. I'm trying to be healthier. And I have learned a ton for my own self about these beautiful living plants that we consume raw. They're fight and flight made. They can't run from their predators. We're the predator. They can't get away from us. So the way they try to stop us from eating them is to put off toxins. So it's best to cook them. Is Bulletproof MCT okay? They've got several MCTs. If you prefer their MCT over ours, you can do that. Bulletproof's a pretty good MCT. Okay, Cheryl wants me to do a wow challenge. Cheryl, is there any red column meals you like? Got to get you a real meal in there. Anybody else while we're waiting? Going a little overtime today. Want to be a help to you. So are you wanting a wow challenge that just has bars and shakes on it? Is that what you're looking for, Cheryl? No real food? Do you drink coffee? So, Tammy, are you here to help me out still? By the way, y'all, Tammy is volunteering. Anytime you want to donate to her so that she can keep volunteering, please send me an email. We'll make sure if you let us know that it's designated for Tammy, we'll get that to Tammy because Tammy's a big help. Tammy, could you write up? Well, I'll do it. Don't worry about it. I'll do it. Let me just screenshot this. Cheryl, I'll get something in there for you. Yeah, don't forget, we need more partners. We are losing our team members. We have very little revenues coming in. We need you. We need our partners. And again, before I close out today, I want to thank our partners. It's going to get really, really hard for Sasha and I to do everything that people need us to do for them to lose weight without our team. So please consider being a partner. We will have another partner class this week, Thursday at 12:30. It'll be another great topic, and we'll take some deep dive into nutrition again. And join us, www.helpshibboleth.com. I read that a tablespoon of MCT in your coffee helps the metabolism. Is that true? It is not. I would not do that. Now, if you're going to do it, I would count it as a snack. I do not believe in bulletproof coffee if you're trying to lose weight. I'm just not a believer. Now, there are exceptions. If I'm fasting and all I'm doing is a couple of bulletproof coffees before dinner, that's not a bad idea. If I'm going to work out and I need the extra energy and instead of carbohydrate, I want MCT, not a bad idea. But as universally speaking, it's never good to add empty calories for some supposed thermic effect. All right, y'all. We have lost a lot of people. We're going too long now. So we are going to adjourn for the day. And I've enjoyed being with everybody. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow, Lord willing, at 10:30 a.m. I am working on challenges. We're working on a restructure internally so that we can get through these difficult economic times. Appreciate everybody's patience. All right. Thank you all. God bless you.